Then behind, on the other junction, you have the hospital road. And then behind again, you have the waterboard road. So we are dualizing these 4 roads to give room for traffic and allow for free movement of persons and goods and services. We believe one of the key things we want to leave behind here in Egua is to lift the face of Iregua, the state capital. And for now, we are constructing about 18 roads in Iregua here, and all of them are dual carriageway. Our reason is that we don't need to leave construct one lane road, and tomorrow we have the cost to expand. So we don't want to bear the cost now. This project is being handled by Elite Engineering Nigeria Limited, and the 4 roads being dualized is going at the cost of 1.8 billion. Now, construction here is quite expensive because, first of all, we have to get sand from somewhere, and we dig deep. If we go to the side, you may see that sometimes they even talk about 1.5 meters, and that's about 6 or 7 feet. And they have to sand fill that, put what we call the sand cement, which is going to mix cement with sand to put. Then you have the stone base. That's what we are standing on now. And after this level, they will come and put the asphalt, which is the finishing. So I think if there are questions, we'll take them quickly, and then maybe. This road is going to be completed by August. It is a 12-month completion period, and we awarded this contract in July last year, but the contractor moved to site on the 12th of August. So we are expecting that by 12th of August, this road will be ready for use. In fact, the deputy governor was just telling me that he didn't know that they've gone up to this level. This stretch we are standing now is completely stone-based to the end. It's only the right side, which is where they are working on the drainages, and they are also seeing the transfer going on. The materials here are for the stone. Goes on for inspection of projects to ensure that contractors are put on task in terms of time and quality.
Do we have a question?
To make the city livable.
The roads you are having now, we are going to have what we call the covered drainages. So the drainages, the covered drainages will be the walkway for the pedestrian. And then while the center, we're going to have the street light at the center. The median will be created. For now, they've not finished. What we usually do on the road is that you finish this level, then you come and mark out the median, and then put the, yes, it's on the part of the original design. So the street lights are there, the pedestrian walkway are there, and then the bigger ones, we even have flower lines along part of them. Like when we go to the Aziboro Lake Road, you'll see the lines for the flower. This is not here, we'll go down. When we go to where we're going to see the Federal Secretariat. Because from here, I'm going to move straight to the Traditional Rulers Council. I don't know how we just walk to see one of the Secretariat annexes to demonstrate the Secretariat annexes, and then we'll move on. Because we're building 4 Secretariat annexes, and they have a completion period of 16 months. The contractors are working there, and then behind Annex 2, where you have that water tank, over there you have Annex 4. Then in the front, you have Annex 1. Our reason is that currently about 40% of our civil servants and political appointees are staying outside the Secretariat complex. And we are paying a lot, so we are trying to conserve our fund in terms of money we use for rent of private properties, as well as bring everybody into the same vicinity to make government transaction very easy. For example, the Commissioner for Science and Tech stays almost about 4 kilometers away from this point. So if we have a business to transact with her, I either drive to her or I call her in. The Local Government Service Commission is far away. The Civil Service Commission is far away. Most of the essays are all outside this complex. So our intention is to complete this in 18 months. And then what we do is to bring all those ministries that are outside here. And then by our right, the buildings that are there, we have a debate as to put the final, the main secretariat. It's a 7-story building, which the design is ready, but we have an issue with the security of government house. So we wanted to put it behind the building here, but they are saying it's going to be overseeing government house, and that may pose a security issue. So we are thinking of demolishing these ones here and putting the main secretariat building here. So this is one of the 4 we are building, and each of them is going for 330 million naira. That includes the furnishing and fire alarm equipment. So this one is being handled by multi-design and the multi-engineering company, Nigeria Limited, while the other one is being handled by Shock Engineering Services. The second one is being handled by Pashe Nigeria Limited, and the 4th one is handled by Wallace Nigeria Limited.
What's the capacity of each?
Each of them has a capacity of about, each one will take 3 commissioners. So that will give us about 12 commissioners. And then the civil servant capacity is about 220. So we have created 2 conference rooms each in each of the buildings. So we are going to have 8 conference rooms at the end of the day, so that in case many commissioners have press briefing, they will be able to have space to do that. And it's also physically challenged friendly, because we are putting lifts in all the buildings so that those who are physically challenged can use the building, unlike the other ones we have that do not have lifts.
So please, do we have a question?
Your Excellency, Honorable Minister, I am Olawale Okuniyi. I'm the spokesperson of ProNaco. Our worry in the civil society is not so much about projects going on in government, but how to curb the corruption element in some of our projects. That is the worry. And how to ensure, again, that in putting in place this project, the people themselves can take ownership and also can also be empowered in the process, so that it is not just government on one side and the people on one side. Government is detached everywhere you go. But we appreciate that these projects are going on. So how are you checking that you don't have sharp practices, corruption in all the things you are doing? Because official corruption is the bane of development in the country. So I'd like to know what mechanism you have put in. When you say project is 290 million, we know that some part of the money will go into the hands of, to go into private party. What mechanism have you put in place so that we in the civil society can begin to commend government? Thank you.
Thank you very much. It is the concern of everyone, particularly when you hear government projects. But you are also aware there is no project in government that costs more than oil company projects. There is no oil company that will construct this building with 370 million. You cannot make it. It is not fiction. This is science. And we don't actually want to talk on belief. We want to talk of knowledge. And we recall knowledge is belief plus empirical details, evidence. These are things you can quantify. There are specialists, quantity surveyors, that can say this is the quantity. So we are saying the prices because you can have an opportunity of actually validating whatever we say. We're not saying that corruption is not there. And to me, corruption is in the country, but it's an overflowed word. I don't think some of us know the meaning of corruption now. Everything is corruption. But what is corruption? If you ask people, some of us will not be able to identify it. Enough area, there is nowhere that you won't have element of corruption. Nowhere. I can remember in the 70s when I was studying engineering in India, the paper said one particular minister, his name was synonymous with corruption. The name of the minister, home minister is like a governor. The home minister's name was synonymous with corruption. So they now said Indira Gandhi should remove her, and she removed when it was evident actually she was removed. But there is nowhere that you are not going to see that element. What we are trying to say that we reduce the margin as much as we can, gradually. It can't be overnight. Wherever there is competition for scarce resources, people compete very seriously to their advantage. But the system itself should be able to get checks and balances to find out the result at the end. But for this project, I can assure you, our governor is known as tight-hand governor. So it is difficult for you to come and inflate a contract price and get through him. For my governor, I can talk about it. And for the officers we put in charge, who have got experience over the years on this particular type of project, I can assure you will get value for money. We know that there are very, very scarce resources. We must get value for the amount that we are spending. That's why you've seen so many projects going on at the same time.
Sorry, to corroborate what the deputy governor has said. If you just look at, you give a space, you measure this. If you measure this now, this is almost 4 feet. This 4 feet you are seeing, this is, all you are seeing there is concrete. There's no block work there. That is just the level you are seeing. And we have gone down 3 feet before this level. So if you take a raft foundation, which is going to be about 9 meters, you are putting concrete, you are putting rods there. So you can just not equate this with what you build elsewhere. So these are some reasons why you see that when we measure some cost of our project, it appears on the high side, but that's not the truth of the matter. So if you look at the level, what I've just displayed now, and this goes around the whole building, And you can imagine the size of this building. In any case, our project goes through 3 phases. First of all, the ministry will conceptualize. It will go to due process. Due process will certify. And we have what we call prevailing market prices for everything. For example, a cubic meter of concrete goes for about 35,000 naira. So once you come with a quantity, what is the quantity of concrete you're going to use to build this building? They will verify it and say it is correct. And we have what we call the price intelligence monitoring unit, which will also verify this before the contract is awarded. So we pass through this process before we get. In any case, like the Deputy Governor said, you need to take a memo. I will just come tomorrow. You act as Commissioner for Works, and I give you a memo to take to the Governor. By the time you divine the memo and it's approved for you, you will say you don't want to become a Commissioner for Works in this state. Because the question you pass through is no more than passing a PhD thesis. Because you have to explain every one kobo. Even though it's not an engineer, he will ask questions that will probe to find out why that money is going to that area. So as much as possible, we are trying to ensure that. That's why we have money. Because if we are paying a debt of over 4 billion naira every month, which was put on our head, we pay 4 billion naira as debts every month. Yet we are taking on this. And in January, the governor just did the press briefing. We have over 70 billion naira in our account. We cannot be seen in that arena of corruption if we want to achieve. So thank you.
BAYELSA has gone through an experience. They are just coming out of it. So I think we will see